Very talented Man United youth star reveals Ten Hag told him he must leave in the summer and go get minutes, but could he have been of use this season? What is the latest on the takeover? We're getting told there's going to be an announcement and then there's not going to be an announcement, and now apparently Jim Ratcliffe is going to be here Monday or not. We'll discuss that. It just must be very close. What's the latest on transfers? The striker who looks like he could be coming to United in January. What's the latest on that? We'll get into a few of Ten Hag's comments in his presser on Donny van de Beek, and then we're going to talk about Manchester United's rumoured lineup to be playing tonight versus Newcastle. Who's going to be starting in the lineup versus Newcastle tonight? Please do hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new and share the video. So Alvaro Fernandez kind of revealed this. He said manager Erik ten Hag made it clear he would not feature in his plans, but Fernandez has not given up on his dream. He sat down to talk as his agent was at a distance, but it was quite complicated. In the end, a deal was done last minute. He said, what message did United give me? They said I should go out on loan, that Ten Hag didn't count on me, that I should continue to gain experience rhythm, and we'll see what happens in the future. But it's clear that football doesn't end at any club and that you have to keep working. My main objective is to return to United and get my place there. He basically said Ten Hag was like, yeah, you're not going to play, you're not my plans, I don't want you to leave and go on loan and get minutes. Which is a bit brutal from Ten Hag, considering we brought in Reguilon, who is never fit, when Alvaro Fernandez has been fit for every game this season. And because Alvaro Fernandez is at Granada and their captain is the left back, he's not getting loads and loads of minutes. I would have probably just kept Alvaro Fernandez, given him the minutes, and instead of bringing him Reguilon. But Ten Hag just didn't want to take that risk. So maybe Ten Hag doesn't rate him. But I like the mentality from Alvaro Fernandez. The manager was like, leave, go get minutes. And instead of being like a Donny van de Beek or a Maguire, he was like, I'm going to leave, I'm going to get minutes, I'm young, I'm going to go to Spain. And I think the fact that he's still desperate to get back to United and prove himself, I respect that kind of mentality from the young guy. And I think Alvaro Fernandez is a guy, he came to England very young from Spain, which is very difficult. People like Alvaro Fernandez and Garnacho have a lot of respect to because they don't speak English. They're completely moving country to go to United at such a young age when they were in good academies anyway, like Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. They were leaving such good academies anyway to go to United at a young age, completely new language, completely new culture. And the people like Alvaro Fernandez was willing to go to Preston on loan. He's willing to go to Spain on loan to get minutes, really, really willing to push himself and go out his comfort zone for his career. So big up to him for that. On the takeover, it was said that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is expected to assume control of Manchester United footballing operations on Monday, and that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's billboard was spotted near Old Trafford, and it was a billboard saying welcome to Manchester as well. That is the latest on Ratcliffe. I'm assuming we will probably hear something next week. I know he's on holiday this week. I think next week we'll get a little bit of heat and noise on the takeover. I think if we lose to Newcastle, we'll definitely get loads of PR spins about Paul Mitchell and transfers next week as well as leaks probably, because that's how we predict how the Man United media goes. But I just want this takeover bish bash dosh done, announced, finalised, so we can get on with it. Get on with bringing in Blanc, Mitchell, do the January changes that need to be made. And although we've been told that it's going to be a Brexit January under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it was said that we could be getting a 15 million striker from, is it Mali or Guinea he's from? One of the two. And it was said, Guirassy is definitely on the Man United list. United have asked about signing him, and they are a club Guirassy would think about joining. He would run to join Man United. The transfer could take place as early as January and would cost 17.5 million euros, which is 15 million pounds, due to the player's release clause. The representatives of Guirassy are increasingly confident that the striker will move to the Premier League in January. His agents believe there's interest from United, among others. He's got a 15 million release clause. If United pay it, bish bash bosh, he'll come. He'll want to come. He's ours. Will United play it? I'm not sure. United, 15 million in January. Could have got Julian Alvarez 2 years ago. They didn't. There's a lot of good 15 million deals Man United could have done in January. Guess what? They didn't. They just, because it's United, we're not spending in January. There's an excuse. But it's very obvious that Ten Hag wants a reinforcement in January. And realistically, this is realistic because it's actually such a cheap price, but it might depend on sales, might depend on takeover, might depend on ownership. Some reports are saying we're going to have a big spend in January and we're going to sell a lot in January. And some reports are saying that Jim Ratcliffe wants to get the structure sorted before the investment in January. Anyway, continuing on to Ten Hag's press comments ahead of the Newcastle match. He made a few interesting comments on Van der Beek and comments on Van der Beek basically considering leaving United. And I think Ten Hag just said, yeah, he's got to leave. Ten Hag said, "I think Donny has to play. In games, he was in the squad, so then he had the opportunity, but it was a slow start in the season because he still recovered from physical setbacks. Now he's back and doing well in training, so if we can't give him perspective, I can see that he has to play for his career, for everything," which is a bit of a nice sentiment. He's kind of finished at United. The one moment he was going to get a few chances under Ten Hag, unfortunately, he got injured, but Ten Hag saying, look, there's an opportunity in January. He must go and play because of cinema training. He needs to play. He's a good player. Now, talking of playing, who should Manchester United line up with? Who should start against Newcastle? Lots of debates over the goalkeeper, but I'm going with Andre Onana in goal. I think that, I'll be honest with you, I think Delo had a better game than Wan-Bissaka against Galatasaray, but because Anthony Gordon's on great form, Wan-Bissaka is playing right back and Shaw is playing left back. Delo does struggle against Newcastle, those kind of quick wingers. I think Anthony Gordon is actually one of the form players in the league. So we play Wan-Bissaka, we'll play Luke Shaw. I am playing Varane. I am not playing Lindelof. Lindelof versus Isak. Yeah, we're playing Varane and Maguire. He's going to play Lindelof. I know he's going to play Lindelof, but we've conceded 71 shots at the last 4 games. 71 shots, more than anyone else. And Lindelof has been, and the midfield, to be honest, has been a big part of that. I would then play Maino. I'm going to show you who I play and then who Ten Hag's going to play. Amrabat and Bruno. Versus Newcastle, we can't be doing this thing when McTominay is all the way up here and Bruno's over here and Maino has to defend this wide space. Newcastle have scored the second most goals in the league this season. Newcastle are clinical. They got 4 past Chelsea, 8 past Sheffield United. Newcastle know how to score a lot of goals. If I'm United, if I'm Ten Hag, I'm thinking, look, this team scores a lot of goals. They're not like other teams where they're going to, like Everton, who are going to have all those chances and not manage to score. They'd score about 4 of the chances Everton had. I'm going with dual pivot. I'm shutting down shop. I'm going with Maino and Amrabat. I need people that are going to keep the ball better, but Tominay's not good on the ball, and I've got Bruno here. That's what I'm doing. Will he do that? No, of course he's going to play McTominay because he's stubborn. You know what? I think Anthony should keep his place because he had a very good game versus Galatasaray. I don't like Anthony. I don't particularly rate him, but he was good versus Galatasaray, and he done that game versus Galatasaray. I thought it was good. And Rashford shouldn't be starting for the pure basis of that. And Garnacho is going left wing because he's got 2 goals and 2. And Højlund is going up front. That is the team I want to see start versus Newcastle. Will that be the team that starts versus Newcastle? I'm not quite sure. But maybe you could argue Pellistri right wing or Rashford right wing. But I was actually really impressed with Anthony's performance versus Galatasaray. So I'm willing to give another chance to him. But if he is crap, hook him off at half time. I can't wait till Amad Diallo's back. I really can't. Although I think he will go out on loan. Now, what do I think Ten Hag will do? In all honesty, Ten Hag's not going to not play Rashford, is he? I think Ten Hag will play Rashford here. I think Ten Hag will play McTominay. I'm sorry, just because he scores a few goals from his box crashing ability doesn't mean that he is good enough for United. It just doesn't do anything else other than that. And in a game like Newcastle, where you're going to need to do things, we'll probably come back to this and McTominay's man of the match, and you'll be like, oh, you're wrong. Which I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he has a good game as man of the match if he plays. But this is obviously what Ten Hag's going to do, and I don't really want to see this, to be honest. Rashford, I think, should be on the bench. And the reason I want Rashford on the bench is because he's out of form. I know he scored a penalty in his last game, but he was poor. I generally think if we brought Rashford on the 60th minute and he came on against tired legs, I think he'd be better for it. We take Garnacho off around minute 65. You bring Rashford on against tired legs. He can link up against Luke Shaw. He can cause some problems. I really think that would be the best option for Rashford because I think that would make it easier for him. And if it makes it easier for him, he has a good game and he has a bit of flow. He's a momentum player. He's a purple patch player. He's a confidence player. And I think that could maybe get Rashford, some confidence in there. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. How are you feeling ahead of the Newcastle game? I'm going to be honest, St James's Park, I think Newcastle are going to win 2-0. I really do. I think we're going to be playing off the park and they're going to win 2-0. But part of me thinks United could do a 1-0 smash and grab. Part of me thinks Man United could do 1-0 smash and grab and just depart the absolute bus. But I am nervous. I am worried. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know who you'd play. I will be live from 7:45 p.m. tonight. So smash a like, smash a subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.